So this is the memorial for persecuted homosexual under National Socialism. For me, it's the most unlikely memorial to be in existence, because I was growing up gay in Germany, in West Germany, and I never learned about it at school. I never even have any reference. And it was only when I started to study at the age of 21, that I learned for the first time that gay men, and to a different degree lesbian women, were persecuted in Nazi Germany. And it was like a shock for me. How can I grow up in a country being gay and not even knowing that? So, and that then became part of my work. I have worked on this topic since the 1980s.
The term homosexual has been used by the German gay and lesbian community since the early 20th century, and generally doesn't have a negative connotation in German.
And the German parliament gave this monument a double mandate. The most important function was, as it was developed, to remember the homosexual victims of National Socialism. But the German parliament also felt that looking back brings a responsibility for the German parliament today, and put a second mandate, which I'm going to read for you. And it says, because of its history, Germany has a special responsibility to actively oppose the violation of gay men's and lesbians' human rights. In many parts of the world, people continue to be persecuted for their sexuality, homosexual love remains illegal, and a kiss can be dangerous. So that's a very interesting, very wide self-dedication. We could discuss if the German parliament today is actually following that self-obligation. But it's an interesting understanding, I think, of a monument that it's not only looking back at the history, but also discusses what responsibility it brings for us today and for the future. So I'm standing in front of the little window where inside a clip is projected. The original design had a clip of two men kissing, and I think that was also part of the design request in the competition. And there was a controversy, because the double mandate of this monument says, yes, we want to remember the persecution of homosexual men under National Socialism, but we also want the German government take the responsibility to speak up against discrimination of gay men and lesbian women, not only in Germany, but around the world. So the lesbian community used this opportunity to say, hey, where were we during National Socialism? What happened to our circle of friends, to our journals, to our bars? And the second is, if this is meant to be also as a signal for the future, then we should be represented, and rightly so. But the third film is showing both men and women kissing each other, and it kind of tries to connect to both the historical references to the early gay and lesbian movement, and trans people also were very important in the early movement, but also to persecution and discrimination of the LGBT community around the world by slides that go slowly behind the kissing couples. I was glad we were standing there and the window is intact. It's not broken, it's not colored. Very often when you come here, you see somebody try to smash it, sometimes successfully, or put graffiti over it. And I think it's the kiss. It's something that makes people so mad that they look at two men or two women kissing each other, and that they feel entitled to violate a memorial that remembers those who were killed in a concentration camp. For me, it's similar if you violate a cemetery. But it happened again and again. And at one point, there was, of course, pressure. What can we do about it? And then the only answer that in today's world we come up with is, let's install a video camera, which you see up there. Did it help? Not really, because it's still vandalized. The German government did not recognize what happened to gay men that were imprisoned and incarcerated in camps during the Nazi period in the lifetime of these men. The vast majority never experienced that eventually the German government, it was 2001, I believe, that the German government declared those Nazi German sentences for invalid. By then nobody was alive anymore. They never got any financial help. And when the German government waited so long to discuss that they never had to pay one because there was nobody around anymore. So it was very late. Then on the other hand, having this memorial here and having the German parliament taking on this responsibility, too late, but they did, is a major step forward. Now we just need to make sure that the German government indeed follows on what it promises and dedicates itself to speak up, not only in Germany, but we see a backlash everywhere in the world against LGBT equality.